So today I'm going to be attempting to take this fuel tank off this 2004 John Deere 5205. It hasn't been running very great. Like randomly you go over some bumps and it'll just start running like crap. And I really don't feel like putting another injection pump on this thing because it's so expensive. So I talked to some other John Deere techs, and my best guess, we all come up with probably is going to be trash in this tank. Problem with this tank is that you can't see in it. You see how these caps, there's two of them, one on either side, and there's no depth there. I mean, it just goes right back that way. So I think I'm at about quarter tank. I'm going to have to drain the rest of it. But I don't know. Doesn't look like the funnest job. It's got these two bands I'm going to have to take up. And this side's clear. Probably going to have to take the seat off. On this side you got, looks like 4 screws for the PTO. Remove this. And yeah, I'll probably have to take the seat because I don't see this thing coming up around that. So the seat was just 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were 15 millimeter, and it came right out. So I got pretty much everything off, but this tank really doesn't want to move too much. So yeah, this shifter, this whole thing actually has to come off in order to get this tank out, and it's still wrapped around the pillar, so it hugs it here and on the other side down there, so you can't really just bend it back to get it out. So these aren't bolted up, they're just sitting there. But anyway, it's drained, and I washed it while I was already in the tractor. So I'm replacing all the hose. The hose actually looked pretty bad. It was all rotted out inside. Looked like there's could possibly be some obstruction going on inside of there. You can't see it on video, but it's all swollen, and there were some chunks coming out of there, so this might be the problem. I'll go ahead and replace this other filter too. That's on the side of the block, and put some fresh diesel in it and see how it does. I got the new fuel filter. It's a Napa. It's a 3548. That's what it looks like here. It's got the water separator at the bottom where you can drain it. It's the old one right there. It wasn't even that old. We probably had maybe 15 hours on it, 10-15 hours. So that's going to go on. And I have the new fuel line. It's going to replace the old one that was coming apart inside. You can see it kind of swelled up in there. I don't know if it focused or not, but this one looks a lot better. It's better quality. So I got the new filter on, I got the new hose, it's been cleaned out, just added new diesel and half a quart of transmission fluid. It's been primed, all the air's out of the system. See what happens. So I apologize, my camera died just while I was getting that last little bit of idling in. But you can see when I first started, I kind of had a rough idle. Actually, like, was kind of searching for idle. It was going up and down and up and down. That's what I was doing before I did any of this work. But as it continued to run, the rest of the air got out of the system, and actually runs great. It runs better than it ever has now. Anybody that's having a issue somewhat similar to me, where it would run kind of rough at... Boy, what are you doing? So if you're having a similar problem where you can't find idle or at high RPM, it seems to run rough. And I truly believe it was a fuel line problem. The hose itself, the rubber, was rotted on the inside, and it was swelling as well, and it was starting to come apart. And although I didn't cut the line all the way down, which I could have, I believe that there was probably an obstruction somewhere in that line. And because I'd already cleaned this gas tank out once when I first got it, so after I replaced the injection pump, which I really didn't want to do a second time. So definitely look at cleaning out your tank. And although I kind of failed at getting this tank out, it was still successful because I ended up getting pretty clean. I was able to lift it up enough to make sure I tilted it to get all the water and residue out after I started spraying out the inside of it. And then I let it sit for 2 days and used an air hose to blow out the rest of it. So if you guys have any questions on the 5205 or would like to see me do something else with this thing, just let me know. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot more videos of this coming up in the future, including some disc work and some brush hog work. So thanks again for watching, and yeah, stay tuned. See ya.